What advice would you give to people who are just like chronic procrastinators? That are just not taking action?
Yeah, the advice is very simple. I have the perfect piece of advice for them. It's have fun staying poor. Have fun staying poor. You're never going to make it. I don't care. Because if you can't look at your Instagram and think, you know what, maybe I should get into shape. If you can't look at my Instagram and think, you know what, maybe I should make some money. And you literally, with all the inspiration shoved in your face nowadays, I mean, you are sitting in this luxury apartment in Dubai overlooking the ocean. Oh no, I don't even know what day is it. What day is it? What day it is?
Sunday.
Well, Sunday afternoon. Like, this is what we do. If you can't watch people like us, if you're watching this podcast and think I need to do something and you're a procrastinator, good. I don't care. Have fun staying broke. Because like you said, I need someone to wash my cars. I need people like you.
So what is your next like goal? Not your big goal, like your next goal. Like, what is your next thing you must conquer?
I don't even look at it as goals, because goals are something that you put on the wall to motivate yourself, right?
Right.
Goals are so you want to buy a car, you put the car on the wall and it motivates you to go to work to get the car. So that's a goal. Goals are for motivation. I don't work on motivation, I work on discipline. So I don't have a set goal. I just get up and do what I know I'm supposed to do. I don't work to try and afford that car. I work because I'm supposed to work. And then I can already afford that car and another one and another one and a boat and a plane and a house and another house and a land. And then I just work. I do my work. That is my duty as a man, is my duty to God. I train in the gym, it is my duty to God. I do my duties to God. I fulfill my duty. I'm an old school gentleman of honor and respect. I do what I'm supposed to do. I don't have any particular set goals. Anything I decide to do or want to do, I can do instantly. And if I can't do it instantly, I can do it pretty fucking quickly.
So you drastically reduce those like bad habits, and then at the same time you drastically increase the delayed gratification activities, and those are the ones which are very like uncomfortable and challenging and hard and difficult right now. But they make your life work better in the long term. So that's exercise, eating clean, meditating, having a good sleep schedule, studying, working hard, working on a business. So it's kind of common sense, obviously. It's like, oh yeah, don't do the bad things and do the good. But when I've explained it like this, people finally realize like, oh, that makes so much sense. You know, people wonder why they feel so depressed and why they feel like they're in such a rut. And when I tell them, like, when you do instant gratification, what you're doing is just stealing happiness from your future self. Like, when you watch porn today, you're literally taking happiness and pleasure from your future self. When you play video games, you're doing the same thing. And like, this has been like, you know, I'm not a scientist, but this has been like scientifically proven. Like, you do ruin your brain when you do these things. And the issue with this is eventually you become your future self. A lot of young guys don't understand this concept. As you have gotten a bit older, you know that the things you've worked hard for, eventually it's like you become that future version of yourself looking back, and you're like, oh, like, thank you, younger me, for doing that for me. Like, I didn't build this body, you didn't build yours. It was our younger selves who did it. So that gives us like a sense of self-love because we did something for us today, even though we didn't get the rewards of it previously. And if you flip that around, the amount of guys and girls who are just stealing happiness from tomorrow and again and again and again and again, and then they become their future self and they hate themselves. How couldn't you? If you look down and as a guy you can't even see your own dick, you're way overweight, you've got like messed up hormones and everything, you hate your life, how could you not have this like sense of depression and even suicidal thoughts when you just think of how much happiness your younger self just stole from you?
I think people are just very emotional in their decisions. I'm very logical, and I can pull emotion out of something and look at things for what they are. And I think that's why I've done so well in life, because as you continue to grow in life, probably the biggest hurdle you're going to face is managing people. And managing people is all about removing your emotions and you have this idea of who you want someone to be and who they actually are. And those two things aren't the same a lot of times. So I wouldn't say that I'm naturally gifted at business or this or that. I think it's just when you go through a tough upbringing, and you go through an upbringing where you have to see reality for what it is. I think from such a young age, I had to see reality for what it was, not a clouded picture, like this is reality and you have to face reality. And when you know how to face reality and you know how to not run away from things, you're a very, very powerful person. And you can have any university degree, you can have any this, that. It doesn't teach you critical thinking, and it doesn't teach you how to look at situations and look at real world problems and figure out, okay, I'm fucked. How do I unfuck myself here?
And yeah, because people so often say like New Year's resolution, or they're like, but that doesn't really that's kind of like a one and done. It feels like almost outdated, that idea. But how do you I guess, and you just kind of answered, I guess, like how we change our perspective. So we change our attitude, that's really what you need to have a new experience.
Yeah, there's 3 decisions you're making every moment you're alive. Your audience could test this out. The first one is, what are you going to focus on? Now, when I say make these decisions, Theo, I don't mean you're making them all consciously, right? So whatever you focus on, that's what you feel. If you're supposed to meet your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whoever at 7 o'clock, you get there at 7, they're not there. Some people are pissed off. Some people are worried. It's the same event. If it's 7:30 and they're not there, they've not called, they've not texted. Now what are you feeling? Some people go, I'm really pissed off. I'm really worried.
I'm really single.
I'm really single. It's 8:30, you haven't showed up. I'm full. I didn't wait for the bastard. But the point is, whether you're angry or whether you're worried had nothing to do with the event. It's the habits of your mind. The person who's worried thinks, well, maybe they're in a car accident. The person's pissed off. They did it again. So the first decision you make is, what are you going to focus on? And most people have patterns of focus.
Yeah.
So there's 3 I'll give you, your audience can test out. Do you tend to focus more on what you have or what's missing?
What's missing?
Yeah. Do you tend to focus more on what you can control or what you can't control?
Probably what I can control, but it's out of desperation because I feel like I have to control everything.
Well, that's not a bad thing. You can't control everything, right? It's an illusion, but you can influence so much. You can control everything in you.
Okay.
And then the third one, do you tend to focus more on the past, the present, or the future?
Past.
Yeah. So those 3 patterns, if you do all 3 of them, if you constantly look at what's missing, it's hard to ever stay fulfilled or happy.
Yeah.
So you have to always do something to try to make yourself happy, because you're always noticing what's missing. That's just where your focus goes. There's always something missing. There's always something that's not missing. There's always something beautiful. If you focus on what you have, you're going to be more fulfilled. Second one, if you focus on what you can control, what you do, it's why you have your own business. It's why who you are. A lot of people focus on what they can't control. It's overwhelming. They're stressed out. They think of all those things. So if you constantly focus on what's missing, you can't control, and the past, which you can't change, what that makes you is either angry or sad or frustrated or depressed.